Welcome to Village TV, the story behind small business and entrepreneurs. My name's Sean Krobler, and I'm joined by Linda Murray to talk about creating a business you love. Linda, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here.
Absolutely. I'm really excited by this show because being in business is such a fantastic thing, and it's something so many people in business love. They just love what they do. They love what they're doing, but there is a difference of it. So Linda's going to talk to us about how we can create a business we really, really love and works for us. Now, Linda, between the odd 400 people that you've helped run businesses and the past 7 years of being a coach, what do you think entrepreneurs and small business owners often overlook?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Sean. A repetitive theme that I see is that people get into small business with a whole raft of ideas and intentions. So more time flexibility, more money. What happens is a year or so down the track, reality often doesn't actually match that original intent. Yeah. And I think the reason that that's happened is because they had the idea of what they were going to create, but then they didn't actually commit to constantly creating that business that they love, and really focusing on what that is and making sure they're reinforcing that all the time.
Yeah, and I guess, business coaching, often people think business coaching is someone who helps people become more profitable, grow their business, and help them go through their steps. But you touch on something a little different with your coaching and how you work with your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it's about looking at the head side of business, but also the heart side. Obviously, you have to create a profitable business. No profit equals no business pretty quickly. So absolutely, I work with clients on that commercial strategy side of their business and also building their business acumen as owners. But I do think if you're going to put your blood, sweat and tears into your small business,
which is what most business owners do.
Well, truly, a lot, is that you should be creating something that you really do love, something that really ticks you over and turns you on.
And how do you go about achieving that?
Yeah, sure. Look, I think there are a number of ways, many of which also get overlooked. The first is just having a very clear intention of where you're going. So what is your vision for your business? And that sounds obvious, and as business owners, we've all heard it a million times before, but how many of us have actually sat down to create that? Yeah. Now, it's got to be something that's very specific. So not just, I want to grow a business or I want to make more money, but specifically, so I want to take $300,000 out of my business this financial year. Have a very clear plan and something definite.
I guess that means that you actually know if you've got there and you've got some ROIs on your actual business performance.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if you're on your way there but not going to make it, what do you need to tweak and change to get that result? The other thing is your vision's got to be something really compelling and captivating for you, so that's motivating enough. We all know in business there are days that are a little trickier than others.
Yes.
So the bigger your why is, as I call it, the better. So
I guess it means that you've got a reason and a passion to work 12-hour days, if that's what it takes.
I don't encourage working 12-hour days. We can talk about business design in a second. But yeah.
Another day.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, a great example recently, we had the Winter Olympics in Sochi, and looking at those athletes, they train so hard for so many hours every day.
Yes.
There would be days when getting up and training was the last thing they felt like.
Yeah.
But it was their why, their vision was so big that that's what actually helps them overcome any lack of motivation that they might be experiencing. So absolutely create your business plan. I don't recommend a 50-page business plan that gets put in the bottom drawer and never looked at again. I think if you can sum it up in a one-pager as to something compelling that you're trying to create. Similarly, make it work for you. So if you're a very visual person, make it something pretty. Have pictures. If you're auditory, maybe you've got a theme song. I think Eye of the Tiger might be your theme song or something like that. But make it very relevant for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of plans, is there time frames, 6 months, years?
Absolutely.
What are the game plans?
Yeah, look, I think have a time, but every industry is different. So that's a hard one to answer because, traditionally you would say a 1, 3 and 5 year goal. If you're in an industry like IT that's very dynamic and constantly changing, you can't predict even what you'll be doing in 5 years. So then it might be like a 6 month, 12 month, 18 month plan.
Now, Linda, I'm a little bit against business plans, I must be honest with you, but that's probably because the industry I'm in and it changes so quickly. How do businesses make sure that they're able to adjust and have some form of flexibility with their growth plan in their business?
Yeah, I think these days you have to set out with an intent to innovate.
Innovate, yeah.
You know, that's just got to be your plan, even if you don't know what that means yet or what that will evolve into.
Absolutely.
Just that knowing that you will constantly need to innovate. I think if we look at the global financial crisis and the businesses that suffered as a result of that, most of them, it's because they stuck with what had always worked and they didn't innovate. The other thing I think is also making sure that your professional goals are very aligned with your personal goals. So what I mean by that is often we have intentions for our business and we grow something rapidly and that is then in conflict with what's important to us personally.
And I guess it's the difference between growing a business you love and a bit about who you are as well, or you as a person. Absolutely.
For sure, and I think the best way to do that is to know yourself as a person, which sounds easier said than done, and really understanding what makes you tick, because that's what's going to help you create a business that you love. So the two primary areas that I look at with clients for that is understanding your values and your strengths. So your values are your key drivers, what makes things important to me, what really matters. And the more you can understand those and create a business that's in alignment with those, the more you're going to love your business. So let's say one of your primary values was family. You're more inclined to make sure you're always out the door at 5 o'clock to get home to spend time with your family. If you're not doing that, therefore you've created a business that's not in alignment with your values.
Working 12-hour days.
For example, you're going to quickly feel resentful.
And you'll not enjoy your business anymore.
Absolutely. So it's that whole, I call it swimming downstream. When you create a business in alignment with your values, it feels easy and you enjoy the process. Similarly, on the strength side, that's about understanding what you're good at and really focusing on doing a lot of that. If we have a business that's in alignment with our strengths, it's more fun, we enjoy it more. And I think if you look at any industry, there's a whole lot of people in your industry, a lot of people who do what we all do. But why do people buy from us? And I think it's because if you're running a business whereby you're authentic, you're playing to your strengths and your values, people like to do business with people they know, like and trust. So you're more likely to attract customers that you enjoy working with. So therefore, again, business is more fun and more enjoyable.
And you're doing what you like again, and you're doing what you're very good at the end of the day, which means you're going to get more repeat customers.
Absolutely. And this is very much off the back of the science of positive psychology, for example. The science of human flourishing is understanding what makes us tick, and the traditional model was always we looked at our weaknesses and saw them as opportunities for growth. Really what we've now learned through science is if you focus on your strengths, your opportunity to leverage and capitalise is so much more. So again, professional athletes, they don't pick a sport that they're really terrible at and think I'm going to work hard to become number one in this. They pick a sport that they're already reasonably talented in and enjoy, and then really concentrate on that mastery towards that. We should be doing exactly the same thing in business.
So I'm not good at accounts, get an accountant.
Outsource. I'm a big fan.
What else can people do to create a business they truly love?
Well, look, resourcing and outsourcing is another good one. And just on the values and strengths, feel free to go to the resources page of the athenacoaching.com.au website, whereby I've got some profiling tools where you can actually go through the process of ascertaining your values and strengths. While I'm talking resources, what else people can do is stop trying to reinvent the wheel. We tend to make life very hard for ourselves. There are great resources out there. I was digging through my business bookshelf this morning, and here are two. You Inc. by John McGrath. Fantastic way of creating a business that you love. Business Model Generation. Again, this is the head side of the business. Great, the handbook for visionaries, that one.
Oh, really? I've read You Inc. and I got to say it was a fantastic book to read. It's not a heavy book. It's something you can get some great tips and implement stuff in your business straight away. I haven't read the Business Model Generation.
It's fantastic.
So basically, what is it? So what Game changers. What are we doing?
Yeah, look, it is the book of creating
Okay.
business models. So this is sort of business 101, but made very easy and very visual.
Oh, they're pictures. I like it already.
We like pictures. And that does actually give you the business model that you can apply to your business.
Okay, great. And this is what we've got on our board at the moment. The business canvas.
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely. So tools like this are invaluable. You know, we always talk about inbox bloat with all the e-newsletters and what have you we get. I would say pick 2. Like, I love entrepreneur.com, I love success.com.
Yes.
Just pick 2 that serve you even for a month or 2. TED Talks.
There are enough apps these days. I don't get any emails. I've deleted all my emails. I mean, if you like emails, great.
Yeah.
I read everything on the bus to work through my apps. Just read what I want to read, done my reading for the 40 minutes on the bus, and I feel like I've learned something for the day.
And what you're doing is you're working out what works for you.
Yeah.
So that's a great format.
Using my time efficiently.
Reading apps while you're driving, not so cool. So in
No,
that case,
bus.
you might want to download podcasts.
Podcasts, yes.
For example. So use the resources around you. Absolutely outsource, to your point. If you don't like doing something, it's going to take you longer. You're going to procrastinate. It uses up your time and energy. So even accounts, there are people out there who love accounts.
Yes.
And they're great at it. So let them do what I know. Let them do what they love.
Yes.
And then last but not least is definitely get support. For example, a coach.
Now, that's a very good way. There's so many coaches out there.
Mm-hmm.
Some very good ones, and some, let's just say, not very good ones. And how do you go about choosing the right coach for you, or for someone else out there? What advice would you give?
Look, the coaching industry is at the latter stages of its infancy, I would say. People now understand something about what coaching is.
And the benefit for it as well.
Sure. Having said that, there are no barriers to entry. So you can call yourself a coach tomorrow. Anyone can. And this is why it's a very swollen market, and there are some average ones. There are also some exceptional ones. It's about knowing what to look for. So I think definitely I would inquire about finding a coach who is a match for you. So that's a personality match, but also someone that inspires you and it will motivate you. They might have already achieved what you've achieved.
I find that an important criteria. Someone who's actually been successful in business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's that matching of having had their own business. There are a lot of coaches out there who have never had their own business, so they don't really understand the journey that you go on. But also I think academic education is important too. So I have a Master's of Business Coaching, and I think it's that coupling of the two, having run your own businesses and that academic theory and rigour behind the science of coaching. When you bring those two together, I think you've got a solid coach. The other thing is obviously experience. So I would be looking for coaches with at least 5 years experience. Apart from the fact that means they've coached a lot of hours, they've also survived the GFC when the industry was tough, and they're still in business. So they've obviously got a volume of clients in what is usually a word of mouth industry. Very much so.
Now, for those resources again, and for people who want to learn a bit more about what you're doing and learn more about you mentioned AthenaCoaching.com.
AthenaCoaching.com.au is my business, so feel free to check out the website. I also release blogs every week with great resources and tips in there.
Great.
And of course have a Facebook page, facebook.com/AthenaCoaching.
So go check it out. Linda's always there for quick chats here at the Village. Linda, thank you so much for being part of Village TV. I'm sure we'll be having you back soon again. That's another series from Village TV, the story behind small business and entrepreneurs. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.